Welcome down to the Malted Man Cave. I'm your host, Keith.
And I'm Dave.
Tonight we're going to be doing a celebratory review to celebrate. I think we had spoken on camera not too long ago. Dave was studying for a big test, and I was studying for a big test as well. And that's kind of why we haven't been able to release quite as many videos as we have in the past. And we got some good news officially as of Thursday. And Dave got good news. How long ago was it?
About a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
So I passed my independent licensure test to become an independently licensed counselor. Going to be making an extra $4 an hour, and if I want to start my private practice, I could. I'd have no plans to, but if I wanted to, I could. And what did you pass?
And I passed the big board certification where you have to go before the board and kind of present yourself to them. And I was pretty nervous about it, but yeah.
So we're so glad to finally have that done and over with. Then we're studying late at night after long hours of work.
Yeah.
And we are going to be having a celebratory review, as I said, and we're going to be reviewing a 30-year-old whiskey, courtesy of Mike from Mike's Whiskey Reviews. All right, so we're back, and as I said, we're going to be doing a 30-year-old whiskey to celebrate Dave and I both passing our different tests that we had to take. And as I said, we're going to be reviewing Talisker 30, a beauty from the Isle of Skye. I was going to say this is the oldest whiskey that I've had, but that's not true. I think I've had a 37-year-old or a 42-year-old whiskey before. What's the oldest one you've ever had? I think it's 42 is the oldest I've had. Anyways, this is pretty dang old whiskey.
I don't know.
And Mike,
I'm racking my brain. Probably this one.
And Mike, it is an honor that you let us have this so we could review it. So thank you again, buddy. So Talisker 30 comes in at 45.8% ABV. 30 years old. Let's see what else it says. Made by the sea. It's not the most elaborate bottle for a really expensive 30-year-old whiskey, but I kind of like how it's simple and classy and elegant, but it's like sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the exact cask maturation is, but if I can find it, I'm going to put it there. And I'm not sure if it's chill filtered and natural color. So I don't know. You want to talk about Talisker any?
Oh yeah, let's talk about Talisker. It's one of my favorite distilleries.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you being sarcastic?
Being completely sarcastic.
I'm not sure.
How about I say, yeah.
You've had Talisker 8. I think.
How about I confuse the Isle of Man with the Isle of Skye again? That was fun last time.
Ooh, that smelled good. Daddy like. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this review over with. I'm excited to drink the whiskey. Now let's just polish it off.
Do it.
All right, so without further ado, let's get into some whiskey. What do you get on the nose? Waste not.
Waste not like that.
Obviously, Talisker is known for having an incredible amount of saltiness and brininess. And to me, Talisker 10 is the most salty dram that I've ever had.
So definitely salty. Not the saltiest dram I've ever had.
No?
No.
Oh, man.
You think? I mean, it's definitely salty. I would say it's more
iodine, too.
It does smell a little like bandages.
Yeah. So much iodine salt. Just boom.
This is I can tell it's great. The sherry, it's
muted. We don't even know if I would imagine there's some sherry in there.
Yeah.
I think Talisker's been known to add color though, so
yeah, it's definitely raisins and some bran, like some
there
raisin
is actually
bran.
some raisins.
And some raisin bran is how I would like a box of raisin bran is how I would some.
It really
malt,
does.
Whatever that.
It really does. I didn't get that at all, but you're right.
Yeah, and then so the oakiness, a little bit of smoke, and little bit of fresh ground pepper. How about you?
Like immediately, obviously, like I said, it's that like iodine, like saltiness, vanilla. It's just vanilla, almost like a candle wax almost. Cucumbers.
There's candle wax.
Cucumbers, almost pears, and then there's a little. It's got a lot of fruitiness in there, and more like orchard fruits. Pears.
Just regular pears?
No, but then there's cinnamon, like a touch of cinnamon and nutmeg. Almost like you put in applesauce, like cinnamon, nutmeg, and you stir it into applesauce.
Yeah.
Man, that's good. Chalky candy cigarettes.
Okay.
Smell it?
Yeah, I can get behind that.
It's almost like you open up those chalky candy cigarettes and you smell it a little bit. Man, that's good. This is better than I remembered. I reviewed this on Mike's channel, and then he gave it to me to review on our channel. So thank you again, Mike. This is your third
Mike.
shout out. Sometimes with older whiskeys, obviously, typically, a lot of whiskeys as they age get better. Sometimes when you start getting to 30, 35, 40-year-old, it can start getting too oaked. Like with bourbons, it can start getting too oaked at like 20, 23, 25-ish. I think 15 to 17 to 20 is the perfect G spot for bourbons. And I think, well, I won't get into that because there's so much variance in Scotch as to where the sweet spot is. But this has a perfect balance of rounded oak. It's not too oaked. Nice mellow oak. Whatever they did with the charring, I imagine. Well, I assume there's some charring. It works well. Yeah. Something. It does remind me a lot of Ben Rene's and Klein Leash. Obviously with a little bit more salt thrown in there.
Yeah, it reminds me of. Have you ever been in a cabin down in like Tennessee?
Mm-hmm. Like the woodiness.
The woodiness.
Yeah.
Just nature.
And then it's followed up. At the end is another huge dollop of salt and brine, and I like it. I love salty stuff.
When I think of dollop, though, I think of more of like a fluffy, like a dollop of whipped cream.
Like throwing in something. I know, but I was thinking like throwing in some.
All right.
A bunch of salt.
Throw it in there.
What do you get on the palate?
When you were saying you're nosing of candle wax, vanilla candle wax, that is very apparent once you.
Way more waxy.
Yeah, very waxy.
A lot of people, I think, overstate waxiness. Like the only really whiskeys that I get waxiness is Klein Leash. Maybe a little bit in Deanston. A lot of people say that about a lot of other whiskeys, but I really only find it in Deanston and Klein Leash. I get a little bit of that here. I've never got it in any other.
I thought you were about
Talisker.
to raisin me.
No, and I've never really got it. What are you talking
about?
Are we going back to that, Dave?
I'm just saying. I thought you were.
Someone
about to
got his
like,
feelings, sir.
I never.
Someone's into his feels.
Triggering me.
Oh my gosh! What else do you get on the palate?
Pepper is there, but it also reminds me of old juicy fruit that you've chewed for a while.
Yep. I think that's a lot of times Klein Leash 14 and a lot of other Klein Leashes have that. I think in the review we did Klein Leash 14, I said juicy fruit bubblegum. And that's why I think it reminds me of Klein Leash. Plus the little bit of waxiness.
Yeah.
What else?
The saltiness is definitely prevalent for me.
So prevalent.
Yeah.
On the palate, literally, it really is like.
It reminds me of like salt and vinegar chips or something like that. That kind of. Maybe that's the astringents.
I know I'm going backwards, but I smell a little pepper on the nose as I'm smelling it right now.
Papa.
Anything else you get on the? This is Dave's first taste of it. He did not get his nose.
Going in raw.
He did not get anything off camera, so.
Yeah. No, that's about it, man. The oaking is it's but like what you were saying, just the right amount of oakiness. Not too heavy, which is probably good. Raisins, white chocolate.
What review was that? So people, because we keep referencing that in every review since then. So people who have not watched those are going to be
You
like,
just
what?
have to watch all of them.
Dave got butt hurt that he was saying that a certain whiskey that was bourbon matured tasted like and smelled like raisins. And I didn't say he was wrong. I was just like, really? Do you think it? That's all. I just asked him.
Maybe you should go back and watch the same again. Raisins?
Oh my gosh. All right.
Really? We're talking about practice.
Raven?
Raisins?
Playoff?
Playoffs?
Oh, that got really good.
Mm.
So again, you get, this vanilla candle wax, cucumber, almost like a little herbaceous, some kind of herbal mixed with the wax, mixed with the cucumber. Oh man, vanilla, like I said, pears, applesauce, touch of cinnamon, touch of pepper, touch of nutmeg.
Yeah, it does remind me of applesauce.
And I didn't get this on the nose, but on the palate, there's a little bit more kind of chocolatiness. Almost like, have you had assorted, the Esther Price or the different types?
Yeah.
What are some other brands of assorted chocolates you get? Yeah, like you buy for Valentine's Day? Because I know most
Reese's?
people,
Reese's?
no, like more elegant, more expensive ones.
That's what my girl wants, man.
Esther Price?
No, Reese's.
But we're talking about assorted chocolates.
I know,
Right?
Esther Price.
That's local though, so most people aren't gonna. Anyways, the ones that you get, they have like on the back, like all the different types of chocolates that they are, like, and they're all different. This tastes like the ones that has chocolate.
Smith's? No.
And then there's pink in the middle, like pink filling, and I think it's raspberry filling. This reminds me of like chocolate with like a raspberry filling.
Yeah.
Then there's a little bit
But
of.
not gross like the chocolate with raspberry filling.
I like those. Oh. Sometimes
You probably
it's
like
not my favorite. I like the chocolate caramel's the best. What's your favorite out of all these sorted chocolate caramel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like salt. I like sweet and salty.
There's more berries like black cherries. Mm. Like I said, like I already said, pears, applesauce. Oh man. And then there's just a huge, it's almost like they literally had the whiskey with all these other flavors that I just mentioned. And then they just put just salt, just poured it in. It's just so salty to me. And I have to be in the right mood. Sometimes it gets too salty for me, like Talisker. But if I'm in the mood, sometimes that saltiness tastes so good. Mm. And then, again, the oak, a little pepper, good stuff. What do you get on the finish? More raisins.
Raisins?
There really is. It does. Raisin bran, it really is on this one. It's all subjective. I don't know. I just make up stuff, Dave.
So, it's a medium to long finish, maybe medium. The pepper stays. It's got a little bit of sweet heat, is how I would. It's a little sweet heat.
It's definitely spicy.
Yeah.
But like in a salty, peppery way.
Maybe that's the salt that's cutting the. Yeah, it tastes like a steak mix, seasoning mix.
like McCormick's.
Yeah. Wow. So I didn't really get very much smoke on the palate, but the smoke for me really kind of comes through on the finish. Yeah. Juicy fruit, dark fruits, those kinds of things. A lot of the nosings and the palate stay on it. All around, the finish is just kind of how it came and went.
So the only criticism I have of this whiskey is it tastes a little bit thin on the finish, especially.
Is that why it's a medium?
So I agree, medium. Maybe even not medium. It's not shorter. It's a great whiskey. It's not super long, and it tastes a slight bit thin, which leads me to believe that it might be chill filtered. And what did we say the ABV was? 45.8. Yeah. This one, oh man, at a little bit higher ABV, this would have been magical, even more magical than it already is. So again, medium finish. You get, all the juicy fruit bubble gum, apples, pears, slight bit of chocolatiness, and a wallop of salt and pepper, and then it just kind of fades. So, Malted Man Cave Mark, what are you gonna give this, David? Dang, you down to hash that, bro. Woo. You liked it.
Are you supposed to?
Oh, maybe not. Daddy just needed a drink.
No, I did enjoy it. Not my favorite.
Too salty?
No. Too peaty. Just a little bit too. I think it's the bandagey. I'm not a big fan of the astringentness. I'm a sweetie. I just that profile has not grown on me. And this place,
I thought you've been starting to like peated whiskey. You said that a while ago.
Yeah, some of
just
them.
not this particular one.
Yeah, just not this one. It's not my favorite, but I can tell that it's fantastic, or that it's well done whiskey. But for that, I'm gonna give it an 87.
87?
87.
So let me take one more last sip before I give it my rating.
Ooh, and then I have good news that I want to tell you.
Before the question of the night?
Yeah. Or after. Holly's pregnant. I'm just kidding.
She just gave birth like 3 months ago. Could you imagine?
Yeah, Kate.
What? Oh, right after.
They're over a year, just about over a year apart.
So I'm going to give this a Malted Man Cave Mark of 90 out of 100. I really like
Daddy
it.
like.
I think it was Schoffelser. Obviously, I don't know. We're going to find out the information and put it later.
Oh.
The only thing is on the palate and on the finish, it's a slight bit thin, but the flavors are wonderful. The oak is well-rounded and well-integrated with all like the orchard fruit flavors and then the salt and then a little bit of slight chocolatiness and just all the good stuff that's in there. So not the best whiskey I've ever had, but very, very, very good. If you're rich and you have money and you can find this for like $300-400, get it. It's great. I think Dave saw it online for like
You got a high credit limit?
Was it $1,000 he saw it on? Dave saw it online for $1,000.
$1,000.
He was like, "This is $1,000."
Yeah.
I would not pay $1,000 for it, but if I was wealthy,
That's a house payment.
if I was wealthy and I had $300 laying around, I'd pick this up in a heartbeat. That's too rich for my blood, but this is a very good whiskey, 90 out of 100. So, what's the good news?
Good news is, my son has a little bit of, he's had little issues staying caught up in class as far as just, he's a smart kid, but he gets his letters mixed up.
I always thought he'd be like above average, just in interacting with him.
He's very emotive and like he can read people and he's very like.
So he's worrying too much about relationships and paying attention in class, maybe?
No, it's more of like he's a little bit young for his class and he's a little bit like me, a little nervous, like wants to make sure everything's together before. Anyways, he hasn't been doing very well on his spelling test because he gets kind of nervous about it. And so this week, him and I, every day and every morning on the way to school, we practice them. And today I got home from work and I walked in the door and Ben runs over and he's like, "Guess what? I got 100."
100?
Yeah.
Dang.
He aced his spelling test today.
Oh, look at you, Dad of the Year. That's awesome.
I was so proud. I was like,
Dave is one of the best dads that I know. Like he literally,
Keith is one of the best dads I know.
He's better than me. He spends way more time. I love my kids, and I like to spend time. But you spend like every waking moment of your day with your kids.
I love kids.
Yeah, I'm more of a. I'm more of a fourth grade and up kind of guy. Don't get me wrong. I love my kids to death, and but I've worked with youth in many different fields that I've worked in as careers, and I'm really good with junior high and high schoolers. When they're like 3 and 4, that's not my age of choice. But obviously, I love my kids.
No worries.
But, so that's awesome, man.
Yeah, man. So I was really proud of him. So anyways.
Question of the night.
Yeah.
So I was, listening to YouTube or something on the way home, and someone was talking about, is it hypocritical of LeBron James and some of the other NBA stars who, are so active in social justice, and they, I will not shut up and dribble. I have my convictions and my belief. Is it hypocritical that ever since after is it Daryl Morey? Is that the GM for Houston?
Daryl Morey. Yep.
You read the tweet that he put out.
So he posted it's since been deleted, you chicken.
Because apparently free speech is not a thing anymore in the United States.
So he tweeted on October 4th, "Fight for freedom, stand with Hong Kong." It's like an image that is has been retweeted over and over and over again, and it got a little traction.
Yeah, and I've been really kind of disappointed in the NBA. Anyways, is it hypocritical of LeBron and the NBA and other NBA superstars who said they will not shut up and dribble, who are silent? Crickets, not a word on any of the stuff. I mean, isn't there like 1 million people in concentration, like the Muslims and Christians in concentration camps? And obviously the violence that is going on against people in Hong Kong. And don't get me wrong, I would love to have good relations with China. I think there's a lot of amazing Chinese people, great Chinese people. But is it kind of hypocritical that we will not shut up and dribble and silence with this whole thing? What do you think?
So for me, I do agree that we do live in a free country, and they don't have to say anything about China if they don't want to. And they don't want to because it's protecting their business. And
it's all about the Benjamins, baby.
And it's protecting their, and what this just, so the second part, so that's that first part. It's all about money for everyone involved. China is money. The second part of it is I don't agree with Donald Trump, our president, on this and that. It doesn't matter. That policies that I agree with and I don't agree with him does not matter. I do agree with his comments about Steve Kerr.
What did he say? I didn't see it.
Steve Kerr has been very vocal about the stupidity of our government, in his words, basically just morons, and lots of critiques and lots of criticism about it, and some of it I agree with, and some of it just overkill. But they're silent, and they are the ones that are more protected and have more of, and I understand they represent more of the business side of it as well, and so that is why they are more silent. But it takes weight away from anything that they say from now on, especially since that they're criticizing small apples over here, and they've got people in concentration camps over there. Yeah. Blindfolded in train stations, like freaking going to Auschwitz. Yeah, they are on a train car. There's a train car full of people right now, blindfolded, heading somewhere, and it's almost 2020. It's just insane.
We still have that going on.
Yeah.
So obviously, for me, obviously they don't have to. It's a free country. You get to choose which issues you want to stand on, which ones you want to stand up for social justice. It's just kind of funny that some of the ones that they choose to stand on for social justice seems like you said, little things that, I'm going to say something really controversial. Obviously, we know that there's been racism in the past, and it's horrible, it's evil, and racism is terrible, and it should never be a part of anything, and I wish it was eradicated. But a little bit of the whole police brutality, for me, maybe I'm wrong, a lot of the statistics have kind of debunked it, and obviously a lot of the NBA players are more than happy to push that narrative. Now, don't get me wrong, you show me a cop that shoots a black guy just for being black, I want him to go to jail, I want him, lock them up and throw away the key. But, you know, the statistics show you're way more likely, if you're a white guy, to be shot and killed.
Yeah, well,
look up any real statistics and it'll show you. So they're way more happy to peddle something like that, which
let's talk about police. Oh, I'm just kidding.
way more happy to peddle that. But then we actually literally have millions of people being put into like internment camps and just human rights violations and crickets.
Yeah.
It just kind of, for me, it's kind of hard to take anybody seriously with that. So
Yeah.
My hearts and, you know, my hopes and prayers are for the people of China and Hong Kong, and, you know, I love America. And it's kind of sad to see, like, we're not really kind of saying anything about everything that's going on over there. I don't know what the answer is, though, at all. But it was really sad to see all the pushback that Daryl Morey got. All he said was stand for Hong Kong, right? Stand for freedom. And
but 5 days ago, he updated that after he deleted the tweet.
What did he put?
He wrote, "I did not intend my tweet to cause any offense to Rockets fans and friends of mine in China. I was merely voicing one thought based on one interpretation of one complicated event. I have had a lot of opportunity since that tweet to hear and consider other perspectives."
You gotta love the authoritarian.
Those other perspectives are, we're gonna kill you.
And we want China's market money.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna.
Let us know if you agree or disagree. You know, one thing we love whiskey, and that's our biggest passion, but we kind of enjoy talking about current events and hot topics, and, you know, we probably lose some subscribers because of it, but, you know, this is something fun for us to do, to get together, to drink as friends, to talk about stuff that means something to us.
Is there a big whiskey market in China?
Actually, yeah, a little bit, so we're screwed. We're going to lose like 50 subscribers tomorrow.
Taiwan #1.
China, just take Hong Kong. Just go ahead, just take it back.
No.
But thank you guys as always. Please like, subscribe.
Wait, are we pro Hong Kong? Are we a pro Hong Kong?
I am.
All right, pro Hong Kong.
Free Hong Kong.
Free Hong Kong.
So please like, subscribe. Give us a question tonight if you want to hear us banter about something controversial like this. And as always, Scotch is king.
Bourbon is best. Free Tibet too.